Welcome to Super Magazine, where today I'll be removing a misconception which I found in Dragon Ball Z power levels. And that misconception is that the Kamehameha is a multiplier of power. The conclusion will be shocking and isn't really stated with how it's beginning, but I know how people will react to this information. They'll say that there's a scene in Alice and Saga that disproves it. This scene here.
His power level skyrocketing. 900, 950.
But then, if that is true, then that disproves my whole argument about the Kamehameha being a multiplier by showing it's multiplying his power in that scene. Then I have an important question which can only be answered if I show you another separate scene, which I'm about to show right now, for the one for Goku using the Kamehameha against Frieza.
Kamehameha!
So most people will ask, okay, how does that disprove that the Kamehameha is a multiplier? But let me explain. Most people state that the Kamehameha is a multiplier of 1.1 to at least 2 times the power level. So if the power level of Goku using a Kaioken times 20 is mostly stated to be at least 60 million, and Frieza at half power is also at 60 million, and 100% Frieza is at 120 million, let's do the math. Using a multiplier of 1.1 times, it would be 66 million for his power level, which is above Frieza. I'll explain why even this number here would be able to defeat Frieza. For 1.2, it's 72 million, and for 1.3, it's 78 million. Next one is 1.4, which is at 84 million. 1.5 is at 90 million, and 1.6 is at 96 million. 1.7 is at 102 million, and 1.8 is at 108 million, and 1.9 is 114 million, and of course the 2 times 1 is exactly 120 million. And from my own calculations from the scene of Goku using the Kamehameha against Raditz, I saw that the power he stated of 950. I wonder if I'll have kept that part of him saying 950, but he said 950. From the power level of that Goku being a 460, I got that the power level is at least 2.33. The multiplier is at least 2.33980147778 times. So even with that one, Goku would have a power level of 140,394,088.668. But in that scene I showed, let me show it again. So if anyone had forgotten or can't remember, let me just show it again.
His power level skyrocketing. 900, 950.
So I've reshown the scene so people can see the scene again and remember how it went down. Now, that scene shows that the power level of Goku increased when he used the Kamehameha. But I'll replay the Namek Saga scene, which is the base of my argument, again right now, so you can also see it and remember it again when they're now closer than they were originally. So let me show it now. So now most of you are asking, what has it changed knowing these power levels? Okay, let me explain. Frieza cannot sense energy in this saga, so he wouldn't know that the attack would be stronger than him until it hit him directly. Meaning, the only way he could have survived the attack is if it was equal to him or weaker than him. but it can't be weaker because Goku currently is equal to Frieza, meaning the attack had to be equal to Frieza, not slightly more. Some will say, what if he just went to his 100% form? At this time, it is shown that going to his 100% form uses a lot of energy. So if Frieza actually did go into his 100% form, he would use a lot of energy. Meaning he did not go to his 100% form during that fight, because I don't know if he was doing it in the tournament of power slowly, intentionally, but even then it's shown that he needs to use a lot of energy, or at least a lot of force, to transform. Maybe he was using that to like trick Frost, but if the Frieza right now is weaker than that person from the Frieza of the tournament of power, meaning it would take it, and it would be more harder for this Frieza to go his 100% form, like we would have seen in the show when we continue watching the Namek Saga. Meaning the only way Frieza can survive with only a burn would be if the attack is weaker than him. Meaning all the power levels I stated earlier in the earlier section with the power levels, which are all above Frieza, which would need Frieza to somehow match them or be stronger than them slightly. But he also realized that he couldn't sense them at the time, meaning he would only know the strength once it hit him, not giving him enough time to think of an appropriate strength to beat it. Meaning the Kamehameha isn't a multiplier, but many will ask of the scene I showed where he uses that against Raditz. So here's where the shocking conclusion is. Maybe most of you have figured it out, or everyone already knew. The one that I think is at least a multiplier of the long number with the decimals I said earlier, I think that's the Super Kamehameha. Yes, I think it's the Super Kamehameha, not the regular Kamehameha. I wonder why Goku didn't use the Super Kamehameha, but maybe because his body was already in a lot of strain from the Kaioken times 20, maybe that's why he didn't use the Super Kamehameha. So I believe that the one with the multipliers is the Kamehameha and Super Kamehameha. I know it won't change a lot of people's power levels, including mine, if you just say that, or you just don't ignore everything I have said, but that's just my theory. So this was Super Max Z. Like, share, and subscribe, and come again to watch another video. This is Super Max Z heading out.